states. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. But America fails to uphold these standards, as for the straight-A student who finds herself pregnant, or the girl who's about to drop out and she finds herself pregnant, for the girl who is a product of a teenage mom and now the same issue has befallen on her, for the homeless teenage mom in foster care, or for the teenager who has actually planned the pregnancy but has no access or little access to health care and education, for the girls battling mental illness, for the poverty, suicide, and all the stigmas of shame and guilt brought on by our society. Teenage pregnancy is declining in Dallas and in the state, in the nation. But several zip codes in Dallas, we have the highest teenage pregnancy rates. We're number one as well in repeat births. 600 plus parenting teens are in foster care. Taxpayers spent $1.1 billion on teenage pregnancy. Dropout rates are increased. Stressors of the paradox of being a child and a mother are tough. Navigating racial inequities they face exacerbates the stressors and perpetuate generational cycles of poverty. What are we going to do to address racial inequity? The domains we've chosen are housing and infrastructure, education and workforce, and health and wellness. Via housing and infrastructure, we're having housing programs for homeless teens and their children where they can stay together. The education and workforce will assist our teenage parents into completion of high school, completion of college, or job readiness skills. Health and wellness, they're going to have access to health care and education for the well-being of the mom and the child. The Lullaby House strategies will directly address the barriers faced by teenage parents in underserved, historically marginalized communities that still have been denied full opportunity for women of color and girls of color that we serve. The Lullaby House aims to ensure that the teenage mothers have the opportunity to live up to their fullest potential, regardless of gender identity or other factors. And it is our social responsibility to move forward in justice, opportunity, and equality. The Lullaby House will use a three-method process: awareness, access, and action. We plan to bring awareness to the community and also to those girls who are pregnant and parenting who don't know about us. Number two, we plan to create portals of access to provide the necessary resources for the teenage parents and those who are in their sphere of influence. Number three, we plan to promote opportunities for action and how we'll tell you how that action actually affects the community, how the leaders and the community are needed in order to what? To change the trajectory of the lives that are hindered by racial inequity in our teenage parents. The goals we have are three as well. The Lullaby House will develop a framework that clearly articulates our vision for racial equality and tackle implicit and explicit biases. Number two, we will operate with urgency and accountability, creating clear action plans to create greater urgency and public social responsibility. Number three, we'll just be data-driven. Also, to achieve a racial equity, the Lullaby House must work with community partners. We will work diligently to partner and collaborate with state and local agencies to improve the health, education, and social services outcome for teenage parents. Some of the programs that we will partner with are the Dallas ISDs, the Dallas County School Districts, healthcare agencies, mental health agencies and institutions, also racial equity organizations that target and fight injustice and racial disparities. Financial institutions will be brought in, as well as college institutions, in order to segue our girls that way. Beyond closing gaps, the Lullaby House will work identifying, collecting, and using qualitative and quantitative data to inform community and community leaders of issues we have identified. Our racial equity strategies will be systemic, race explicit, and outcome driven. The Dallas Foundation can help us by creating, implementing, and using a results-based accountability system. This tool uses a data-driven decision-making process that can help the Lullaby House talk about the issues and then take action. The RBA asks three simple questions to get the most important performance measures. How much did we do? How well we did it? And were our clients better off? Through this proposed program, we uphold the Constitution that indeed all men are created equal, and our parenting teens have the same right among these: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.